And now inshallah, Surah Maryam.
Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Kaf ha ya ayn sad. Dhikru rahmati rabbika 'abdahu Zakariya إذ نادى ربه نداء خفيا قال رب إني وهن العظم مني واشتعل الرأس شيبا ولم أكن بدعائك رب شقيا وإني خفت الموالي من ورائي وكانت امرأتي عاقرا فهب لي من لدنك وليا يرثني ويرث من آل يعقوب واجعله رب رضيا يا زكريا إنا نبشرك بغلام اسمه يحيى لم نجعل له من قبل سميا.
Surah Maryam. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. In the name of Allah, the entirely merciful, the especially merciful. Kaf ha ya ayn sad. Dhikru rahmati rabbika abdahu Zakariya. This is a mention of the mercy of your Lord to His servant Zakariya. When he called to his Lord, a private supplication in heart. Quietly, secretly, he made dua. Why? Because the Lord hears all voices. He hears our heart even when we don't utter the words or articulate our feelings. He said, my Lord, indeed my bones have become weak. Look at the way of making dua. This is how we should make dua also in the time of need. In the time of weakness, pain, hardship, worry, hurt, grief. Narrate your sad story before who? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Not before people. Because what are people going to do? Allah already knows what we're going through. He is the one who decreed it. But when you pour out your feelings before Allah, when you talk to Him about what you're going through, it lightens your heart. And it invites the mercy of Allah. It invites His mercy. He said, and my head has filled with white, and never have I been in my supplication to you, my Lord, unhappy. Look at how hopeful he is. So always, no matter how difficult the situation has become, always remain hopeful. Why? Because every night is followed by the day. So every problem has an end to it. So look at the words of Zakaria alayhi salam, that وَلَمْ أَكُمْ بِدُعَائِكَ رَبِّ شَقِيًّا, that I've never despaired. I've never thought that it is not possible. I've never given up on you, O Allah. وَلَمْ أَكُمْ بِدُعَائِكَ رَبِّ شَقِيًّا. I haven't even gone that side. I trust you so much. I'm so confident in you. وَإِنِّي خِفْتُ الْمَوَالِيَ مِنْ وَرَائِي. And indeed I fear the successors after me. The dua of Zakaria a.s. was basically for children. He wanted to have children. And why is it that he wanted to have children? He said that I fear the successors after me. Which means that he did not want children for himself. Rather, he wanted children for the spiritual instruction of his people. Because he was worried about his people. That when I die, who's going to teach them? Who's going to lead them? Who's going to guide them? Who's going to inform them? And this tells us about the state of the Bani Israel at that time, that there was no one amongst them whom Zakaria a.s. thought would be able to take this responsibility. Imagine, there were so many Muslims of that time, but Zakaria a.s. didn't think that anyone would actually take that responsibility seriously. So he wanted a child of his own whom he would teach and instruct, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala would appoint him as a leader in order to guide people. And he said, and my wife has been barren, so give me from yourself an heir. What is he saying basically? I don't know how, but I need an heir. I need a child. I don't know how, but I need you to do this for me. And look at how he's expressing his weakness, his inability. But he has so much trust, so much faith in the power of Allah. And when a person makes dua like this, then what happens? His dua is accepted. He said, a child who will inherit me and inherit from the family of Yaqub. Meaning he would also be a prophet from the Bani Israel. And make him my Lord pleasing to you. وَجَعَلْهُ رَبِّي رَضِيًّا. Oh Allah, make him pleasing. You see these words, وَجَعَلْهُ رَبِّي رَضِيًّا? You should make this dua for yourself also. وَجَعَلْنِي رَبِّي رَضِيًّا. That, oh my Lord, make me such that you are pleased with me. I become pleasing to you. Because the one with whom Allah is happy, then that person's fine. Zakaria a.s. was told, O Zakaria, indeed, we give you good tidings of a boy whose name will be Yahya. We have not assigned to any before this name. Meaning Yahya was a unique and beautiful name. He said, O my Lord, how will I have a boy when my wife has been barren and I have reached extreme old age? Now he is surprised himself. And many times it happens that you make dua for something, you want something to happen. It's a wish, and then when it's fulfilled, you're like, how is it going to happen? You're surprised. You are yourself amazed that it actually happened. Like for example, you're talking to somebody about coffee at the masjid after iftar. And what happens? A friend of yours walks in with 3 coffees. You just had that desire, that wish, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala fulfilled it immediately. We experience such things. And then when it happens, we're shocked, we're surprised. Who told you? How did you find out? And then we say, I wish I had asked for something better. I wish we had thought about something better. So we see this is natural. Zakaria a.s. is surprised that how can I have a child? An angel said, thus it will be. Your Lord says, it is easy for me, for I created you before while you were nothing. This is Allah's power. Whenever something is difficult, seemingly impossible, ask Allah. That, Ya Allah, I want to do this. I don't know how I'm going to do this. You make me do it. I am so weak, I don't even know how to figure this out. You help me figure this out. You help me. And pray with conviction, with yaqeen, placing all your trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Zakaria said, my Lord, make for me a sign. He said, your sign is that you will not speak to the people for 3 nights, being sound. So he came out to his people from the prayer chamber and signaled to them to exalt Allah in the morning and afternoon. When he received the good news of a child, what is he doing? He busies himself in the remembrance of Allah morning and evening, and he tells the people to do the same thing also. أَن سَبِّحُوهُ بُكْرَةً وَعَشِيًّا. What does this teach us? That when we receive a blessing from Allah, then what should we do? Should we do tasbih also? Yes. When? Morning and evening. Every time you feel happy. And it happens when you've been waiting for something and it comes. You feel happy about it. So thank and praise Allah. The Prophet ﷺ said, there is none more superior in the sight of Allah than a believer who is given a long life in Islam and he spends it in Allah's tasbih, takbir and tahleel. He spends his long life saying what? Subhanallah, Allahu Akbar, La ilaha illallah. Meaning he does a lot of dhikr. Do you know any person who is old or retired or not as productive as they used to be before because of their health condition, because of their age? Do you know anybody? Share this hadith with them. That when a person in old age also, when he engages in the dhikr of Allah, then what is his status near Allah? He is like the best person in the sight of Allah. That a long life of 80 years, 90 years, 100 years. And in that time, what was that person doing? Remembering Allah, glorifying Allah. Because you see, glorifying Allah when you have to do dhikr in the morning and in the evening, what does it mean? It's a part of your life. You're doing it all the time basically. I mean, there's some adhkar that you do before sunrise, and then after sunrise, all day long you're trying to complete them. And the next thing you know, you have to say your evening adhkar, which are to be said before sunset. And then when sunset happens, then you get busy with the nighttime adhkar. So it's like round the clock. You're remembering Allah. And for a believer, remembering Allah is not just limited to salah, but it is part of his life, throughout his life, until the end of his life.